Pittsburgh State's Department of Health, Human Performance, and Recreation presents In Practice, a podcast that puts the student at the center of our conversations as we explore topics throughout the world of sport, exercise science, recreation, hospitality, physical education, wellness, and dance. This week's episode showcases the fantastic dance and research symposium that our dance minor puts on. This year's program is entitled Transformations, and as we discuss in this episode, showcases the passion and love for dance that our students share. Come check out the unique and fascinating combination that is research and dance on April 13th at 5:30 p.m. at the Bicknell Center. In the meantime, enjoy this great conversation and learn more about what to expect at the event. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. My name is Shelby Hutchins. Today we have members of our dance minor program, instructors, grad assistants, and we get to feature a really interesting program, a really cool program that our dance minor puts on, the Dance and Research Symposium. So before we get started, I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves. We'll start with Carissa.
Hi, my name is Carissa. I'm a grad assistant here at Pitt State, and I'm in one of the numbers this year, so yeah.
I'm Janice Jewett. I'm a professor here at Pittsburgh State. I teach in the dance minor and also in the recreation services major, and I coordinate the dance minor.
Awesome.
My name is Jana Feldman. I'm an instructor here as well. I teach 2 classes at the university, and I'm owner of Pittsburgh Ballet on Broadway.
Awesome. And I'm Elizabeth Hayes. I'm also a graduate assistant, teaching multiple dance classes at Pitt State and directing Y Academy of Dance at the Pittsburgh Y.
Awesome. So thank you all for taking the time this morning to join us. We really appreciate it. We're really eager to learn all about the Dance and Research Symposium. So to that point, what is the Dance and Research Symposium?
All right. So the Dance Research Symposium and Performance, it's actually kind of 2 events in one to promote dance in our in our community, but beyond that, on our campus, in our community, in our region, and nationally and even internationally sometimes. So the Research Symposium is an event that's held in the lobby at the Bicknell, and it features research endeavors by our students. So we've got a nice array of projects this year featuring some art, featuring models, featuring history of dance, and just a variety that's really cool, I think. So, and then after the research symposium, we have the performance, and it's on the main stage in the performance hall at the Bicknell, and we have 22 dance numbers in that show.
Wow, excellent. So let's see, it's April 13th, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So there's a couple of websites out there that might have the last year's information on them. So for everyone out there, just be aware. It's April 13th. It's going to start at 5:30, and as we talked about, it's going to start with that research piece. Can you talk a little bit more about some of the research projects that are going to be featured?
Sure. You want to talk a few about your students?
Yeah, I have some students in my teaching methods and theories class that are submitting research proposals, and it is interesting to see how they're merging their majors with their minor or with their interest in dance. I have one student who is going to chiropractic school next year, and she's doing research on hypermobility of the pelvis and spine of dancers.
Oh, very cool.
Her project is titled Bend or Break, and so she's done some research on common hypermobility issues and what dancers can be doing to train to prevent those. But I also have some that are going a historical route, researching the different styles of ballet and their origin, how they're used today. I also have an education major who is doing hands-on research at a preschool that he works at about dance in the classroom and how that can enhance the education setting. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. And then you mentioned we have 22 different dances going to be performed by 60 plus, I'm guessing, of our Pitt State students. We have 2 of those students here that are helping us out with that. Give us a taste of all the different dances, the styles, all that people can expect to see.
All right. So we can expect to see some ballet, some jazz, some hip hop, some musical theater, some tap, contemporary, modern. Did I hit them all?
I believe so. lots of diversity.
Yes.
Awesome. And we have Jana Feldman, as she introduced herself earlier, owner and director of Pittsburgh Ballet. Tell us a little bit about your role within the program specifically, and obviously you're on the ballet side of things. So what has been your experience within this year's Dance and Research Symposium?
So I have 2 classes, and within those 2 classes, we're trying to prepare a couple of pieces.
Which 2 classes?
Sure. It's a intermediate ballet,
Okay.
so it's very strictly ballet. And then the other class is contemporary and modern. So I think each of those classes have at least one group dance and then a couple solos that the students are preparing. The ballet class predominantly has sort of very historically classical ballet pieces that I didn't choreograph, they're just preset. So we can expect to see some pieces from Paquita and Talisman. In the contemporary class, I'm not sure how effectively we'll put this on, but personally I've been very affected by the international crisis in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
I am Russian and Ukrainian origin. I have family in both places. So I'm trying to set our group dance, which was set before, in my mind it was choreographed prior to the crisis. And I'm trying to sort of dedicate that towards that. So I'm not sure if we have any other international numbers, but I'm trying to set the contemporary piece in honor of just of what's going on.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. Very cool. Well, we're excited to see it. We also have Elizabeth Hayes and Chris Winkle, 2 of our GAs here. Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about kind of your role in this whole program. I know you teach and you're the director of the Y Academy of Dance, but this program specifically, what's kind of what's your role within it?
Yeah, so I teach a few different dance classes. I have a introductory combo class for beginner dancers, and then I have an advanced jazz, a hip-hop class, and a musical theater class. And those are the actual dance classes. The other class is the more lecture class, which is what's presenting our research. But all of those classes, we work on our dance technique as well as our performance quality and our dances. And each of those classes is also preparing a piece for the show. So they've been working really hard in class, and I think it's going to be great for them to be able to see the fruits of their labor, see the completed project afterwards.
And it's really interesting to me, the intersection of dance and research. It's not something that people it's not something people is like, oh yeah, there's all kinds of research on that. Like, that's not an association a lot of people make. So what are some of the, I guess, most meaningful takeaways and experiences that you've kind of seen students either come to, or experiences that they've kind of had throughout this research and also dance process? What are some of your observations?
For me, I think that it's really interesting to teach at a collegiate level because there's a lot more critical thinking involved, and a lot more autonomy of the dance moves that they're learning. Teaching more recreational dancers or younger dancers, it's very much my instruction and them listening. And at the college level, it can be a lot of give and take, and you can hear their ideas. They can relate dance to what they're passionate about, just seeing them kind of connect their own dots and think of something creative and innovative is really, really cool.
Yeah, and it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like the going through the dance and the research process together kind of removes some of the boundaries that we typically associate with the rigidity of research, right? So you get that creativity from the dance side, and that kind of infuses into the research instead of the other way around, which is
That's true.
refreshing, I imagine.
And the way in which the research is presented, in this case, at a dance event rather than, in a published article.
Published article or a poster at a conference somewhere. That's going to be really interesting. So what, I guess, to give the audience more of a feel for what the event's going to be like, what is the research, I guess, part of this event going to look like specifically?
So it'll be in the lobby at the Bicknell, and it starts at 5:30, and our performances start on stage at 7:30.
Right.
So we actually have the all the audience members will walk through
And get to see all the research
Yes,
projects?
They will.
Okay, awesome.
They'll be lined up.
Are they going to be on posters or trifolds? What are we?
We have a variety. We
Okay.
actually have an artist, a visual storytelling major, who is doing No Stage Fright, I believe is the title of her acrylic painting. So we'll have a painting on display that she is preparing specifically for our research symposium. You guys
Wow.
don't know that. But
Yeah.
Cool.
anyway, and then we have others that will do a poster presentation. We have someone who will be handing out brochures and talking about their experience in the classroom, the preschool classroom, and how to integrate a rhythm and dance with learning. And then we have another student who is actually in one of our TAP classes that has noticed the mental health benefits that he gets from participating in dance, and he'll present his paper on that. So it'll kind of be a variety, some visual, some visiting. There'll be a visual component, but they'll be visiting about their research and their project.
Excellent.
So-
Excellent.
And
Very
another
cool.
aspect of that is that some of our students have developed their own choreography
Mhm.
and auditioned it and are presenting that on the stage as
Wow.
well. So we have, research, a lot of people don't always think of it as being such a creative endeavor, but that's a large part on the dance side of things. It's
Yeah.
very much a creative process. It involves a lot of time, a lot of thinking, and our students have put together some unique pieces that will be, that kind of go along with most of them go along with our theme of transformations. Some like the challenges that they've suffered from a loss of a loved one. Some related to just the experience of enjoyment and bringing joy to the stage. So
Absolutely. And you bring up a good point about the theme of this year's event is transformations. Can y'all tell us a little bit about the inspiration for that particular theme and why we selected that?
actually, it came last year, as we discussed after our show last year, which was a light on the horizon, which we really hadn't set a theme last year. We just organically developed from conversations we had with the Bicknell staff during our tech discussions, because our students, if they've developed their own choreography, they meet with the Bicknell staff to set up their sound and lighting and their other tech wishes. And so that's a
Wow.
really cool process to be a part of. But as we went through that last year, our theme developed, and then at the end of that, after our show last year, we said, what would be a good theme for this year? And we tried, that's kind of where we landed, was on transformations.
So what is transformations? What does that theme mean to you all? And what's the kind of underlying, like what can people expect to see with that theme?
Want to describe a dance or two?
Sure. I think transformations can mean a lot of things, which I think is a good creative starting point, because we can all interpret that a little bit differently. But I think that, this is all college students, and college is such a transformational time for these college students. I have some that are, more intense or darker, and then some that are lighthearted, but I'm trying to make all of them kind of show growth. One of mine that's more of a jazzy musical theater starts out, and it's like a New York theme, and they're all kind of beaten up, but then by little random acts of kindness at the end, they're all kind of a more joyful collective. So it's kind of just showing like the little acts of kindness. I have one inversely that shows how things that are internal, like trauma or past experiences, can continually transform how you see and you live your life. And so it kind of gets a little bit darker, but kind of just shows like some processes that we all go through. Yeah.
That's
Carissa might be able to
Chris
explain
is
the
in that
dance
one.
she's in.
That's
Yeah.
the one that I'm in, and that's the contemporary one.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I really like how it tells a story. That's for sure. So,
I was going to comment on that. I think something people might not realize these days is that how often dancers, choreographers, teachers are expected to incorporate a story into their dance.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you watch the dancing that accompanies music videos,
Mm-hmm.
they're not just dance anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I know Liz does a beautiful job of putting a story. I watched last year's symposium. And one thing I know we had last year was some international dance.
Mm-hmm.
So I really took note last year of watching some beautiful international pieces. I'm not sure if we have any this year.
Yours would be the closest, I think. So
Oh.
with an international
Well,
influence, yeah.
I think last year you had maybe dancers that of their own accord came with their own, choreography of
Yes.
their international origins.
Yes.
And then the other thing I took note was how wonderful Liz's pieces told stories.
Excellent.
And I could see the story through the. Yeah, so it's fun to come and watch, even though they're sort of like recital placed in terms of the, it's not a well, it's a show. I'm not sure what word to use, but it's a recital in the sense that it goes piece by piece. But each dance definitely has a professional level of storytelling at the collegiate level.
And I would add too, right now, that our students, it'll be their first experience on a stage, very first, and they're beginning dancers. They just happen to be in a dance class this semester, and guess what? They get to perform. So that can be an interesting component and something that we're very excited about and that we embrace, and it's all about transformations as well. Their first time on a stage performing for hundreds of people, and then not to make anyone nervous that might be watching this, and then we have very experienced dancers that have danced for 15 years or so. So it's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it sounds like art and dance is certainly a form of art, and it's important to think of it that way. But seeing these powerful stories being told, whether it be related to current events in the world or people. Things that people go through on a regular basis and showing that process, it's like, yeah, it might get dark at times, but there's beauty in that, right? And I think that's what people should expect to see from a lot of these numbers. So I'm very excited. That's very cool. Before we get too far into it, though, we also have one of our GAs who is also a dancer in the show, Carissa. From your perspective, as someone who's participating as a student in all of this, what's it been like?
So I was first, Dr. Jude over here approached me. She's like, you should try out for it. I was like, oh man, I've heard of the symposium. I heard great things about it, but it's been a while since I've done dance. So I grew up doing like recreational dance, like I was young. I was like 5 too when I graduated high school, but it was nothing competitive, just like, oh, okay, I'll give it a try. But I went and tried out, and it was a lot of fun, and here I am. I'm in one piece, and it's contemporary. That's very new for me. I never did contemporary growing up, so I did ballet, jazz, and tap, just the basics. But I've really fallen in love with contemporary. It's challenging because it doesn't always go to counts, so it's more towards music, and it's more almost a little bit like telling a story in that way with the words. So I'm really excited about it. So we practice one time a week, Wednesdays for us, and then
How many weeks have y'all been practicing for this?
Since I don't know if it was the end of January
it was
or
the middle. It's somewhere in February.
or in February.
Yes.
Okay, not in
Yes.
February. So just February,
Yes.
March, and then she'll be in April.
Awesome.
But getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I was encouraged to try out for it.
So what have been some of the biggest things that you've learned from this experience? What are some of your biggest takeaways?
That's a good question.
Putting you on the spot here.
Maybe just be open to getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new. You're gonna probably learn more from it than you realize. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun too, and meeting other people and other people with my dance and everything. So.
And it sounds like the dance minor is it sounds like it has a lot of people from all over campus in it. It sounds like there's you get a wide diversity in the classes that y'all are teaching. Insofar as the people who are signed up from all across campus. Can you tell us a little bit more about the dance minor specifically? It's a really, really unique program, and it's a really, really cool program that we offer here at Pitt State. And obviously, we have people who are very passionate about it. So
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about the dance minor specifically.
We're super excited about our dance minor because you don't always find it in an HHPR department. Oftentimes when you think of dance, it's in performing arts, maybe like on our campus in communication or just in an arts area. So we focus on wellness quite a bit in our program, and then we also prepare our students for different aspects of dance. Some just want to continue dancing. sort of becomes a part of your soul and who you are. And if you're not dancing, you miss it. I mean, that I'm speaking for others, I think, here too, as well as myself. But so we have that component. We have some students who probably are minoring in dance that aren't sure what they're going to do with it. They just want to continue their development and growth.
Right.
We have others that may want to own or manage a studio, much like these two ladies do, who maybe just want to enhance their instructional skills for dance. Teachers that are already teaching dance and continue to grow in that area as well. We promote it as something that can improve their stage performance. So for theater majors or that particular area, anyone on a stage. Recreational, if someone wants to plan special events and things along that line, having the dance background is certainly advantageous to having those conversations with individuals when you're setting up a performance of any kind, music related or dance related. So did I hit on all of them? Not quite sure that I did, but a variety of aspects that we can help students develop and possibly use the minor.
Excellent. Yeah, a really unique offering from HHPR as we've alluded to.
And like as a new student here just this year, that's something that really drew me into Pitt State. It's like, oh, not very many D2s around here I know has a dance minor. So I thought it was
Absolutely.
pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I will say integrating rhythms and dance into your educational classroom too. Neil's example, one of our students' examples that Elizabeth talked about for the research symposium. It's really, that's another area that we promote that we want to do. So dance can be incorporated into lots of different majors, I think. So.
Yeah.
Much like music therapy is very
Yes.
common these days, dance therapy is a big topic.
Yes, we have psychology majors in our program, business majors, nursing majors. I mean, just you name it.
Wow.
Come from across campus.
Yeah, so it's a very inclusive, very diverse program in terms of our students' interests and majors. So, if people want to attend, where do they need to go?
So this is a non-ticketed event. So
it's free.
It's free. It's general admission. So we're looking at the house opening at 7 p.m., just the performance hall itself. But the research symposium starts at 5:30, so you can come check that out. Maybe grab a bite to eat, and then come back at 7 and see the show. So yeah, just at the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts.
And it'll also be streamed live on Facebook, on the Bicknell Center's Facebook page. We're going to try to see if we can also get it on HHPR's Facebook page, but we'll update everybody as we go. With the online streaming, I'm not sure. Are they gonna stream the research part as well, or is it just gonna be the dance performances?
It will just be the dance performances. It'll be the stage performances.
And again, that'll start at roughly
7:30.
7:30. Okay. So if you can't attend in person, be sure to like and follow the Bicknell Center's Facebook page. Also like and follow Pitt State HHPR's Facebook page if you are interested in checking out the fabulous dance numbers the night of the 13th. So again, it's free. Other useful information for guests. If you have any questions about parking or anything like that at the Bicknell Center, please call 620-235-4536. I think that's it for the nuts and bolts of the dance symposium itself. I do want to give a few of our guests an opportunity to talk a little bit about what they do outside of Pitt State's dance minor program. So Jana Feldman, owner and director of Pittsburgh Ballet, and obviously an instructor for us and involved in the Dance and Research Symposium. Tell us a little bit about Pittsburgh Ballet.
Sure. So it's a business I opened about 2 years ago in a couple months. It was I had just moved here, and I saw that there was a lack of sort of a more classical professional approach to dance, and I had been teaching ballet for, a decade at least before that, and I didn't want to drive very far anymore because that's what I used to do. I would always drive about an hour, 60 miles to the closest, ballet school.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be towards Joplin or Kansas City or something this time. And we decided this was the perfect place. There were, open buildings available at the time, and kind of found a place and started it from scratch. Then the pandemic hit, so that was not fun. But we decided to just kind of keep going, and slowly and from the ground up we've built a nice ballet studio. We put on our first Nutcracker in December. This just a couple months ago. I don't know. It's been going great. I'm not sure what else to share about it.
No, that's great. Yeah, thank you so much. And if we want to learn more about Pittsburgh Ballet or get in contact with you to schedule, get signed up for a class, so on and so forth, where can we reach you?
So we are on Facebook and Instagram. The Facebook page is just facebook.com/Pittsburgh Ballet.
Mm-hmm.
Without the H, of course, which is why I get away with that. Once in a while, I'll get calls for people who want to go to the real in Pennsylvania. So I find that funny. They can get in touch by email. It's just pittsburghballet@gmail.com. Phone number is 620-267-2897. Just to get in touch for classes or whatnot. Yes.
What ages, Yana?
Oh, yeah, good question. So we really do all ages. Some people do perceive, I think locally, I see that some people are surprised that we have classes that are for older students, because the age range is from about 2 or 3 years old all the way until adult. Because I guess they just don't realize that ballet isn't just a preparation for dance. It has its own, in fact, it has it's the largest historical form of dance that's around professionally across the entire world. Anywhere you go, there are major ballet companies. So we have older students, and I have some adult students that come and take classes with the teens.
Awesome. So it's very welcoming environment for people who want to learn or are interested in getting involved in dance in any capacity. So very, very cool opportunity there. Elizabeth, do you want to tell us a little bit about your program at the Y?
Sure. So I direct the dance program at the YMCA, and we have recreational classes from ages 3 to 18, and then we also have a competitive team that girls can audition for ages 8 to 18. And we primarily do jazz, hip hop, and contemporary.
Yeah.
We do have some little ballet classes and a little bit of tap, but those are kind of our main focus. And yeah, it's going well.
So what's the age range that you work with?
I do a little bit of everything, but I primarily work with the high schoolers.
Okay.
So a lot of times I'm around that, like 13 to 18, but I do teach some classes with some like 8 to 10-year-olds, things like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And if people want to learn more about the Academy of Dance at the Y, where can they reach you?
Yeah, we have our own Facebook page of Y Academy of Dance and an Instagram. You can email me at ymcadance.ks@gmail.com, or you can call the Y to register at 620-231-1100.
Excellent. And if you follow HHPR on Instagram, we share a lot of what Elizabeth posts to either her personal Instagram page about the Y Academy of Dance or Y Academy of Dance. So great programs. Thank you all for sharing those with us. Any closing remarks as we get out of here?
I would just invite everyone to come to the show. I think it's going to be awesome. I know that our students, my dance appreciation students, I asked them to come, and they reflect on it. And I've just had so many comments from, actually, I remember one specific young male student last year who said that I'd never been to anything like that, and that was really cool. So, I think they'll find it very entertaining, emotionally provoking in some ways. You'll have an emotional response to some of these dance numbers. I think it'll be an entertaining and thought-provoking evening.
Yeah, it sounds like an incredibly unique experience. I'm excited to go. So if we want to find out more information about the Dance and Research Symposium, where might they be able to find that? Or do you have any contact information?
I would just have them contact me probably for more information, or the Bicknell staff is pretty in tune with what we are doing, because we rely on them a lot, and they're a big asset to our program. So jjewett@pittstate.edu or 235-4669 for my number.
Excellent. Anything else to add? I think that sums it up. Thanks again for joining us today. I really appreciate all of your time. And to everyone out there, again, please attend. It's going to be April 13th at the Bicknell Center. Starts at 5:30. Doors open at 5:30. You'll get to check out all of the fantastic research projects, and then you'll get to watch our 22 different dances starting at 7:30. A really unique opportunity. Again, it's totally free. And thank you for everyone for joining us. Thank you, everyone out there. And again, please come check it out. It's going to be a really, really unique evening. April 13th, 5:30, Bicknell Center. See y'all there. Thanks.